Austin can take his ball and go home. He did. He packed up the Fitbit and he pissed off back to his ranch.
I mean, quickly before we get into this review, that's what pisses me off. You've got people coming out and saying that WWE treated Sasha Banks and Naomi horribly in 2022, whereas, I mean, back in the day, Austin, the big star, you know, the biggest guy they've got, I mean, he left the company and he got bashed as well, so... I mean, what they
not
expected.
bashed behind the scenes, bashed on the screens, because we kick off with Ric Flair. He comes out, basically addresses the situation, but doesn't go fully in on Austin. Out comes McMahon, does go fully in on Austin, sets up a match, because obviously things have changed tonight. If you weren't aware, it was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Austin, with Austin losing to Brock Lesnar, but Austin was like, fuck that shit, pissed off. So McMahon has made it tonight. He's sick of Flair's leadership. It's caused problems like this. So tonight, in the main event, we're going to have...
Winner takes all.
Not quite the 5-on-5 at Survivor Series, but you know what? It's still a pretty entertaining match.
McMahon, Flair, street fight.
We've seen it at the Rumble. This one was better than the Rumble.
I'd say so, I mean... Well, Ric Flair could fucking barely fucking walk at the Rumble, so yeah, I would say this was better.
You're damn right.
So that gets announced for tonight, and also, it gets announced that instead of Brock versus Austin, it's Brock versus Bully Ray. Or Bubba Ray Dudley at this stage, you might call him. And to be fair, that makes more sense. I mean, Bubba Ray versus Brock makes more sense than Brock Austin, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, could they not even... like, it was a first round match. I think Austin would have accepted losing to Brock in the final if he got screwed or something. Like, Flair saying something, you gotta work your way back up. You gotta go back into the king. No, I know Austin doesn't...
It's still a dead match, like...
I know, you know what I mean? It's
No,
like first. Well, it would have been better in a first round fucking pointless match.
All these King of the Ring, man, they're just fucking throwaway matches at the end of the day.
True.
You never want to waste a first fucking match ever if it's potential to draw. So.
No, you're damn right. But then we have the NWO sitting outside their locker room. Shawn Michaels inside, and then Kevin Nash basically addresses X-Pac and Big Show, calls him G-Money and Wee Man, and then they just whip out newspapers and start reading.
I prefer no money, like no money. Shawn Michaels getting treated like a fucking superstar tonight. I mean, everyone wants to talk to him, but he's not having it. He's refusing really to leave the NWO locker room. Everybody wants a word with Shawn Michaels, but they're not getting a word.
Nope. And talking of superstars, Sean Stasiak, Tommy Dreamer, and Spike Dudley.
Probably the weirdest fucking trio I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you could have said to me, what's going to be the first match on Raw tonight, and I would would never guess those three were teaming up in a million years.
The weird thing about it, guys, I mean, that trio was actually pummeling the NWO early days. Dreamer was getting so much fucking offense.
Yeah, actually, I don't understand this. The NWO was getting battered.
But then, like, Booker T beats Dreamer like a transitional move, and it was just...
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was a fun match, like, but fucking very weird. Like, very weird. Booker T celebrates.
I don't mind this, because this NWO was a bit of a joke, but also it utilises, like, the talent you've got in the show, this sort of match.
It was alright, I enjoyed it.
It just shows you these three are better than fucking the main eventers of the day. Sean Stasiak's where it's at.
Planet Stasiak.
Next up, Goldust. He's got the afro on. He asked Booker T to quit the NWO since he can't join and they can form their own alliance.
Yeah, Booker's like, I've tried to get you in, it's no happening, Goldust. Goldust is like, I'm not asking you to get me in, I'm asking you to leave the NWO. Goldust says that Shawn Michaels doesn't like their kind. So obviously, Goldust trying to dress up as a black man. Goldust saying that Shawn Michaels doesn't like black men.
God damn it.
He's like giving them the kind of, tell me I didn't just hear that sort of look. So another funny segment between these two.
You're damn right. Next up, man, we've got Molly Holly being interviewed by Terry Reynolds, interrupted by Trish. Trish basically says that Molly's got a fat ass and she's got a whole lot of junk in her trunk.
Junk in the trunk, and that's why Molly Holly doesn't like the Trish Stratus's, I won't call it their style of wrestling, but that's why she doesn't really like it when the women are noticed more for the looks and the wrestling ability, because Molly Holly's insecure about her big fat ass, and then when she's walking away, she uses like the Divas magazine to cover her ass. Yeah, so I mean, again,
this just wouldn't happen these days, because this is like fat shaming in a way.
But I liked it.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was entertaining. But it just wouldn't happen these days, and it'll never happen. But it was a good way to utilise. And this has actually been a good feud.
Hold on, is it really fat shaming? Or she just got a big ass?
It's not fat. I know what you mean, but I think I think these days they would count that as, yes.
But Naomi's whole gimmick is she's got a big ass. Oh, the rear view.
Nah, but she's not insecure like Molly Holly. Could you imagine? They would never play a character like that today. That's my point.
Oh, I suppose.
That's the point. Flair, though, is then confronted in his office by Benoit and Guerrero, two dead men, basically saying that he has to win tonight. Like, why is Benoit... This is like a Poundland... Well, it's like a Poundland version of the Horseman. This practically is the Horseman WCW. And I actually like this version better than the other two boring bastards, but...
Why is Benoit on Raw? Can someone explain that to me?
Like, and McMahon chose him to go to SmackDown.
And I'm pretty sure McMahon on the last SmackDown said he was going to get his lawyers involved.
So what the fuck? Benoit, I need to know your loyalties.
Is Benoit being traded off screen to Raw or something? I suppose it won't really matter, because after the night, McMahon...
He came back because they were in his hometown. That's all I remember, but yeah. Next up, man, we've got Bradshaw, William Regal, European title on the line. We have, what's his name, in the Nowinski? Christopher
Nowinski.
He's in
Harvard graduate. He can string sentences together, unlike us. He's a good guy. But his brain's been fucking mangled with a steel chair, unlike us, so...
Yeah, Bradshaw, I mean, the amount of unprotected chair shots coming your road, big man. Going to be hard to take, but this was a decent enough match. Bradshaw, William Regal. I mean, can't actually recall these two actually having a match, but
no,
it was alright for what it was. Nowinski gets involved, basically throws the brass knucks in. Regal picks him up, sparks out Bradshaw. 1, 2, 3. He takes off with him. Then we get a backstage segment.
Yo, I'm legit not joking. Like, I think 95% of the roster would be the biggest star of the day. For me, 95% of this roster is better than Roman Reigns. I don't mean what they go on to achieve in wrestling. I mean what they're currently doing on this show tonight. Where they are at their stage of their career. To me, they're more entertaining than anything Roman Reigns is doing. If I had the company or whatever, and you could take like a Shawn Stasiak for 2002 Raw and put him into 2022, and it was that same Shawn. To me, he'd be the star of the show.
Yeah.
Same with Bradshaw, even though he doesn't really get his big break till JBL. Fucking Texas Bradshaw with a hardcore title coming out with a cowbell's better than
that's shite.
What we're getting today, you know what I mean? Bubba Ray coming out doing his fucking funky dancing.
Funky's on a roll. Yeah. Trish Stratus, Molly Holly up next, and surprisingly, Molly Holly wins this.
I actually wanted Trish to win, but it was really funny during Molly Holly's entrance. The cameraman was like literally right up her hole. I mean, the camera was like fucking. And even when she was getting the ring, like it was as if the cameraman like literally stuck the camera right up her ass. Like obviously they were playing on the fact that she's got a big ass, junk in the trunk, and
King and JR were completely ripping the piss out of this.
Yeah, the commentary. Oh dang. Commentary's great. Like
that's what it's at.
But then again, you know, I mean, fucking probably McMahon wanted to have the whole thing, but. I mean, I do think Molly Holly's come out over the years and said she wasn't I mean, she even said she'd rather shave her head than do, like, brand panty stuff, so I guess it
seems a bit fucking extreme, like. But, on Anderson questions, McMahon's decision.
Well, hold on here, I think unless she wasn't comfortable with it, I think Trish would have won the night.
Exactly, yeah, I get your point.
Look, I mean, if they're ripping the piss out of her for a fat ass, why wouldn't they have the fucking Trish win, so next week she's in a thong and you can make even more fun of her fat ass?
Exactly.
So, I mean, for me...
They do it right. They did Molly Holly right. Double A, though, questions McMahon's decision, says, you sure you're getting into the ring here with a 16-time world champion? But, I mean, this has already happened, so Double A can say what he wants here. And Double A's pish. I never knew Double A had so much screen time, honestly.
That's why SmackDown was the better show.
Arn Anderson's literally been on every show. Well, not every show, but I would say he's in 1 in every 2 shows since Flair came back. Literally.
I'd say it's on every show. You at least got a backstage.
There was that Raw, like in 2001, where they were doing WCW and he was commentating. After that, I think it was like 2002.
I thought that was terrible when they done that.
Yeah, and then Austin fucking angled, buried them. Brilliant. Next up, Van Dam.
What did the minute rating by ratings were like? Would you on that?
Fucking, I bet you they tanked.
I'd say so. But imagine you were late in and you tuned in. You were late. And it was like Buff Bagwell versus fucking Billy Kidman or something. You're like, what happened to JR and the fucking King? What?
I know.
Or JR and fucking Pete Heyman, like?
We have RVD and Eddie Guerrero. I think we've seen this match too many times at this stage.
Yeah, I think this is the last time we'll see it though.
Yeah, for a while, like, but probably ever, like.
Or
King of the Ring
qualifier.
I mean, Van Dam wins. It's a good match, but I just feel like overdone a wee bit.
I'd say so.
It's literally been the last 2 pay-per-views, and there's been loads of single matches on Raw. Like the ladder match was good, and they had a tag match last week with Bubba Ray and Hickey, but you know, Nash is then standing outside the locker room. Michaels appears basically tells the coach to fuck off back to TJ.
Fuck off back to TJ.
They slam the door and say, he'll comment just a little bit later. Then we have Undertaker sending a message to Triple H and Jeff Hardy. I mean, it was a good promo for Taker, but it's weird. He's having to carry both shows here with, like, feuds. He's got a feud with Triple H and then on Raw. He's went for Dreamer to Jeff, so he's going up a level here.
He's you know, slowly progressing the ranks here on Raw. On SmackDown, he's like the top man, but on Raw, he's like facing fucking mid-carders. I mean, you couldn't even call him a mid-carder, could you?
No, I don't think you could. But then the Hardys, they basically get the upper hand here. They start doing a bunch of manoeuvres to Taker.
They actually batter him. Fucking hell, they get the ladders in and they actually destroy Taker. Jeff hits a big, you know, leg drop off the ladder and, you know, the Hardys are victorious.
That's what I liked it back in the day, though. See, like a good tag team that was booked right, they actually got the upper hand over people.
It's like, see now, I mean, you just couldn't imagine. I mean, you couldn't imagine a tag team battering a main eventer. Because tag teams are like just booked to be fucking bums.
Like, there were so many times the Dudleys took on people 2-on-1 in tables matches and battered them, regardless of their level.
But even, like, I'm not just saying, obviously you could say, oh, he's Brock Lesnar, right? But, like, the Usos are built up to be, oh, you know, oh, we're the bloodline.
We're going to fit Jimmy and Jay.
I mean, it would see if Jey Usos 2-on-1 against Brock, you wouldn't give Usos a chance, like, would you?
No chance.
Even if it was Usos Drew McIntyre, you'd kind of expect McIntyre to come out on top.
I know. Regal backstage, though, says about his alliance with Nowinski, and as he's giving his explanation for his Harvard graduate, Jeff Hardy runs past, does the hand movement, then bolts into an SUV and takes off, and Regal's like, what in the bloody hell was that? Brilliant for William.
Right, William's the man.
Fantastic.
Should have been world champ.
Should have been, isn't he? Bubba Ray Dudley versus Brock Lesnar up next. This is a hard-hitting match with some gruesome-ass moves on the outside. Belly-to-belly suplex for Brock to Bubba, and I thought the arena was going to collapse. Big manoeuvre. But, well, it keeps Bubba
Ray's
strong.
so underrated, I think.
Yeah. You know what? See if he had the physique of like Bully Ray in this time, I think he would have been pushed big time.
Aye.
I just don't think McMahon saw
in 2002, like, I don't think Bully Ray's look like it's just Bubba Ray's look, you never just a big ball of
I'm surprised. Did he hold the IC title?
No, I don't think he ever did.
I'm even surprised he didn't get that, like.
We got the hardcore, like, didn't he? I mean, it's...
I know, but it's hardly. The IC was back end was actually fucking... IC then's bigger than anything a day.
But I don't think his run doesn't really last that long.
No.
But, no, I mean, Bubba Ray, I think he's a man. He loses to Brock, but outside interference, Heyman getting involved, Bubba Ray doesn't look weak at all. Brock Lesnar continues his unbeaten run, so, alright, good stuff. Brock Lesnar fancies. And
McMahon is then interrupted by Heyman and Brock Lesnar. Heyman has a business idea for McMahon. Says that if he can make a deal with Brock, he'll make sure that total control comes to Finney Mac, and that Brock will be on his side and have his back. I tell you what, it's a good decision here. It's a good proposition.
Why wouldn't you want Brock Lesnar on your side? I mean, put it that way.
McMahon thinks.
I mean, who would you rather have as your enforcer, Brock Lesnar or fucking Arn Anderson?
Exactly. You've got to have that. But now, next, we're finally going to hear from Shawn Michaels. Out come the NWO. Shawn Michaels then goes on. I thought it was actually a good promo for Michaels. He kind of explains what happened to him. He's like, he was the first guy with attitude. He gets shafted.
I thought it was good, but I thought it was kind of breaking kayfabe. But I fucking hate that. Because I think ever since they broke kayfabe, wrestling's went to absolute shit. See when they talk about in their promos, like wins and losses and people in the back, you know. I mean, to me that's like, I see when Punk first done the pipe bomb. I mean, it did seem good, but seeing you look back at it, he was literally saying, Punk was literally on stage saying, "Here, this is all fake." Cena wins because he kisses McMahon's ass.
I know, but no, the thing I didn't like about this, right? I don't like when they break kayfabe ever, right? But what he says here, I mean, you can kind of say is a valid point, etc., etc., etc. But then he brings up Triple H and The Rock for no fucking reason apart from he's friends with Triple H. Like, let's be real. When Rock and Triple H were feuding, Rock was a bigger star. He made it as if like The Rock was taking Triple H's fucking light.
Aye, like they were equal and all this, but The Rock was fucking trying to. I mean, not taking nothing away from Triple H. He was the top heel, but I mean, Rock was the A side. I mean, that's what it is.
Triple H without that Rock feud would not be Triple H.
Probably not. Like
as quickly, I think as soon as that feud happens.
Probably not. No.
You know, I'm not saying Triple H didn't feel like a big deal before.
See, to be honest,
but
though,
I elevated him.
I think it was Foley that put Triple H over.
Not true.
For me, like.
Point is, I don't think Michaels needed to bring that up.
No, he didn't, but I think
That's because he doesn't like The Rock.
I think the Triple H Foley feud did more for The Rock than... did more for Triple H than...
But regardless of who did what for who, Michaels goes through the NWO members, or doesn't touch Nash because Nash is the leader. Says about Big Show, you're alright, who's going to mess with us with your size? Says X-Pac, you're a retard, but you know what, you're the best wrestler we've got. And he gets the Booker T.
No, he didn't say the best, he says the best wrestler in the world.
That's what I meant.
Right. Which I think's a lie. I'm not saying X-Pac isn't good,
it's
but...
like, mate, look who's saying you're the best wrestler in the world.
Like, why didn't he bring something up to do with speed, or you're the greatest cruiserweight we've ever seen? Or, you know, to say you're the best wrestler just seemed...
He's a fucking bum who's never held a...
Or say something like, oh, you're the... You know, you're the... You know, there could have been... There's different things he could have said, like...
Yeah. And then he turns on Booker T, says he's made the NWO a joke. Sweet chin music out of nowhere. I thought I liked this.
Yeah, I know. He didn't even really get to say anything. And Booker T just kind of turned round, hit him with a super kick, and it was good night, Booker T.
It was good for Michaels, but there was like almost an element of Bret Hart bitterness about this promo, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know, just bringing up Triple H and The Rock. It just didn't need to. And Hunter, like literally so abrupt. Like didn't need to be fucking. And to me, that's almost like if he's addressing himself out of kayfabe. But it's now time for the main event. McMahon, Flair, weird graphic for this. None of them were moving because they couldn't get a moving image of McMahon. But it's control of the WWE. Better than the Rumble match. Flair was bleeding because it's a Flair match.
It's not a Flair match with a bit of blood, is it, really?
No, damn right it's not. I mean, it was an alright match. You got your spots in there. For two guys that can barely fucking walk, let alone wrestle at this stage, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Flair, though, locks him in the figure four. Arn Anderson gets in.
I thought we were getting an Anderson heel turn here.
So did I thought he was going to turn. But he doesn't, he turn. His arse turns. Because down and down and down. Brock comes out. Big elbow drop to Flair. Arn Anderson fucking shites himself. Got pissed on last week. Shites himself this week. Runs up the ramp. Brock, F5 to Flair. McMahon crawls over. 1, 2, 3.
New owner of the company, Vincent Kennedy.
No, but this is great, guys. Right? See matches like this, like it actually fucking means like the actual like drama and suspense and him crawling over and getting when the fuck shit like that done now? They just kick out of shit and it's garbage.
Super kick, flip dive, super kick. Hunter moves that should end the match. Kick out, flip dive, super kick.
See, but most of the matches end it like this, especially these big ones. Like Survivor Series 2001 end it like this.
Yep.
Austin against Bischoff team ended like this.
Yep.
Shit like that. But yeah, we're here to rate Raw now. I actually thought it was good. You seemed to think you didn't like it, but I thought there was a lot of good stuff on this.
That was alright. I'm going to get a 7 though.
I'll give it a 7. What's it missing though?
I don't think that. A couple of better segments, a couple of better matches. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it was good. No, I liked that actually. You know what? I'm going to get a 7.
We'll give it a 7. Anyway, guys, till next time. Peace.